Hey YouTube, coming at you with the Retro Cup team from a legend, Klecksky, who is a YouTube member, so I appreciate the support. Says, another turtle made it to the video. Turtonator was in my team in my first showcase, and now I show it again. I think this thing could be very good with a bit better moveset. Dragon Claw, Shell Smash, Brutal Swing, Shell Trap, Unique Fire Attack. Dragon Claw would be a big upgrade, as you can spam and nuke with Overheat. Thank you for the games. I always enjoy them and watch as many as possible. I think games means videos. Okay, so double dragon, double fire. Kind of risky, but you know, I was supposed to say you're double weak to water in the back of it. You're not. These duo typings really help offset stuff, right? So Hakmo is double weak to fairy. There's not really fairy in this meta anyways. But then your backline of fire, neutralize it, Turtonator, resist it on Talonflame. Talonflame's weak to water, but Turtonator is half dragon, so it's only neutral there. And Hakmo resists. Talonflame is bad against electric. You have two dragons to deal with electric. So there's a lot of stuff that just like covers each other. Still, running two Incinerate users in a meta that has been dominated by dragons is a little scary, but let's take a look at the action, see what happens here. So Primeape is an okay-ish lead, I guess, but coming in Turtonator. So going to, I guess, try and draw something. Close combat would still be scary to take here. So we are shielding it up and get met with a Gyarados. And I guess this is where having a quicker move would be better. You have these Dragon Pulses, which would hurt, but they take 15 and 15 to get to in terms of energy. But we do get to it. So back-to-back movesets here. This will likely grab a shield or else it's going to take out. And it takes out. So they decide to let it go. Getting the farm down, but now going to just get hit with a Talonflame. I would just let the first Rage Fist go. And we do. And we get the Incinerate down. We do. What is in the back? It is a Latios. So these legends just running with some spice here. Incinerate is resisted, but Fly would be neutral, and this thing is very glassy. Gonna just try and get to the move. And we do, but we CMP lose. Yeah, when it's CMP like that, and it's one move from being taken out, you might as well just shield. And then if this does not take out for some reason, you can just Dragon Tail down very quick. But that does take out because Latios is very glassy in the Great League. Jumpluff. So I was going to say bad lead, but it is actually neutral because they're not a fairy. But you have two fires in the back. Going to go in here. You are double weak to rock though, right? Okay, so there is the double weakness in the back. You are double weak to rock, and Hakmo as a fighter will resist the rock. So drawing it out. Turtonator has a lot more bulk than Talonflame. So Drill Run is super effective on the fire. Drill Run will be neutral here, so we don't need to shield this move up. And the roll is resisted, so let's see if you're going to get a move off here. You are going to get a move off here. Both 3-turn fast moves, so not much you can do there. Dragon Claw, not enough to take out, so we're going to have to, I was supposed to say eat another Drill Run, but no, they decide to bank it and come in with Oranguru, maybe sensing that you do have another fire in the back that the rock would be okay against. So shielding up the Brutal Swing. Again, this is sort of the problem with Talonflame. It is a bit glassy. And another thing here is a 4 versus 5 turn fast move is very awkward to even try to fast move time on this. So through the first one, just 5 versus 4, giving up 3 energy, but you kind of have to. You don't really have a choice here. So have energy, but down shields. Losing CMP to Dunsparce. Did you lose CMP or you just delayed the throw and then you top left? Let me just stop right there. Because I've seen both angles of this. So I have to imagine that Talonflame is going to win CMP against Dunsparce. Talonflame only has a 122 attack. Still, Dunsparce has a 104. So it's not even close. So Talonflame should win CMP there. But what I think happened is they essentially came in to throw blindly, and you hesitated to see what was coming in to figure out which move to throw. right? So you got to here, like you should be spamming one of these two moves. And by the time you do realize what's going in, perhaps they have already tapped it. So although you seem to, it's tough to tell 1.5 speed because it seems like you pressed it as soon as it came up, but I think you've got to be just like, yeah, you know what? I think the game maybe screwed you there because you did seem to press it pretty fast. So if you're ever in this scenario, anyone, you really should just be like throwing blindly. Almost always I say never throw blind. This is a situation where you kind of need to throw blind because this Dunsparce does have a move loaded. You need to win CMP here. So you just kind of need to spam the charge move at no matter what comes in. So maybe the game screwed you there. Maybe you just delayed a quarter of a second. That was enough. So both swap blindly. I guess with your strategy here being double E to rock, you want to try to draw out a Dunsparce or something with the Turtonator. And they also instantly swapped into Dugong. Now you did not shield up a move, which is kind of dangerous because it does have Drill Run. And here comes another one. So going to shield up this one, right? It's not like Hackmo has a good matchup here anyway, so you almost need to just kind of stay in here. Putting down the flamethrower again. Not enough to take out after lowering your attack. They will not get to a move before you get to another flamethrower, so this will take out. But they decide to shield, and they do have energy. This is just going to be an Icy Wind, which will chip a Talonflame, but... and they give up switch into Aurorus and a double ice team, right? So that's why they blindly swapped, because they have a double ice team. They wanted to try and draw out a fighter or something with the Dugong and then let the Aurorus roam free. But they did not, and so the brick break on that, enough takeout. You do have a shield advantage and you are going to need it. They really swapped quick. Yeah, they locked themselves by swapping so quick, so you would have easily got a fly off there to take that out. Arctibax. Arctibax is half ice and another duo blind swap. Okay. For those of you... Sorry, I'm laughing just because of how obvious these teams end up being when you... Let me stop the video. Okay. I get it when you're running these ABB style teams that you need to draw out something, right? So in this matchup, we had a blind swap to Turtonator and a blind swap to Shadow Girafarig. Basically, both of you have shown me your teams immediately. Now, when you're running these sort of like ABB style teams where they get the same type in the back, you want to try and draw something out. You do need to swap to try and draw that thing out. Don't make it so obvious that you're trying to draw that thing out, honestly, because it just seems like, yeah, obviously you're running a certain style team. Like one of the things about GBL that puts you at a huge advantage or disadvantage is knowing what your opponent is running. And for both of you to swap so quickly into your other Pokemon, what is in generally an even lead, just tells me what your team is. And so I think if you make it too obvious, you put yourself at a real disadvantage. So here we have the blind swap into Shadow Giraffe and Talonflame. Shadow Giraffe with the advantage here takes you out in the one shield. Out comes Turtonator. Does get the double Incinerate down. Arctibax comes back in. So you should be thinking this is probably going to be a fast move damage team with Confusion User in the back. And oh wow, look at that. Double Confusion User, double Fire User. Like, so obvious. So obvious what these teams are immediately. And you should be like knowing like, oh yeah, okay, I know that they're going to run this. I know when I need to shield. I know what I can get away with. So you got to shield. Because Brutal Swing would take you out. Hope this registers, takes them out. It does. Hope you can get to a charge move. And this move is super effective, Dragon Pulse, so this will take out. But man, you both are so obvious. Okay. Hackmo against Primeape. Into the Talonflame. So you don't You don't seem to have a consistent safe swap here. You've safe swapped Turtonator a couple times and you safe swapped Talonflame. Talonflame as a flyer directly into a fighter is a choice. Luckily, they only have Dugong. Well, which, like, I guess that's the strength of Talonflame because they probably covered their flying weakness on the fighter with an ice, but your flying is half fire, so you neutralize that ice. So I guess it makes it a little easier here. You do grab a shield. Now you have a decision to make. Do you want to flip switch? And you do. So going to double shield. You are 2 times lowered. Kimeko is out here. So we got back-to-back flies here. Your attack is lowered times 2. So this is not going to do as much as you wanted to. And they still shield. And we're going to bank that second move because that second move is probably more valuable. Primeape is not going to be good coming into a loaded Pokemon. But if they live this, it'll be close if they do or not. They do not. Yeah, you can't come Primeape that loaded into a Pokemon. Get the Side Shock off. They're going to try and farm you down. Not going to get it. So they throw right as you're getting to the move. That's the problem with 5-turn moves. You get locked in for a while. Get another Side Shock off. You do have a move loaded on Talonflame, so just come in here and fly it for the win. Yeah, your opponent cannot come in that late into a Primeape when your shield's down because it just gets one shot by almost everything. Okay, so this is one you should be staying in here, right? And they get out and you better flip switch here, right? So coming in, you can come in either Talonflame or Turtonator, and I would start shielding this. No, so you're going to give up switch here because they can easily two shield and flip switch if they want here now. So there's one shield. You may get this move off, but yeah, they're going to CMP you. So now you need to make a decision. Take shield advantage or try and take switch here or force them to use the second shield. Now, they're probably going to use the second shield and flip switch is my guess. Because my guess is they probably have a second confusion user in the back to deal with Hackmo. So they just took switch on you. Going to come in here. This thing's got enough bulk that the incinerate down is going to be a little tough. You can do it, but you probably need to burn a shield. Like, it's doable, but you need a shield. Letting it go, again, running the risk that there could be a second confusion user in the back that will really add up on Hackmo really quick. So back to the Dunsparce lead. Going to chip it with Flamethrower. Probably instant swap to Hackmo. We'll probably get met with the second confusion user. Well, it's not a confusion. Oh yeah, it is a confusion user. It is Cresselia running confusion. And now, unfortunately, you just put yourself in a really tricky spot because now they have a bulky confusion user, which has taken you down immensely here because your moves are not doing enough to take this out. Going for the Brick Break to try and lower their defense so you can take them out. Oh, no, that's the Drain Claw. Sorry, what am I talking about? But now get taken out here. You need to incinerate down before they take you out, and you're not going to do it. Like, the problem with the Talonflame there, yeah, Talonflame is a little glassy especially against Oranguru, and I get it. You can maybe like, I'm surprised you threw Fly, and I'm surprised you didn't shield the first one, because you really just put yourself at a huge disadvantage of giving up switch there, and with that lead, I don't think you give up switch. You have 2 fires in the back that are weak to rock, and a Dunsparce lead. Like, you do not want these back Pokemon to see Dunsparce. And you know you're against a fast move Pokemon in a confusion user in Oranguru, and you know that it spans pretty quickly. And Talonflame can take that if you just like incinerate and flame charge and ramp up in the 2 shields. And then you can maybe come out with a move and add pressure on the Dunsparce. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. So they have a fire, instantly come in with one of ours, get met with a Hackmo. Obviously, as a dragon, resist the fire, which is smart. They may have a double dragon in the back. And they are going to shield because they are also reading that I want to keep switch here. Again, they're loaded with energy. You can live 1 Dragon Claw, but they are loaded with energy, so they're going to be able to probably go, bait the brick break instead of the Dragon Claw, trying to lower your defense first. And they go brick break again. But now they're not going to get to a move, but they just did damage done there. Now they're going to come back. Frostlass, here you go. Not a second dragon. It is a Furfru. Okay. I have no idea what the movesets on this thing is. Takes a flame charge and lives. Yeah, gonna commit the shield because you can just hopefully take this out before the second surf comes. Ooh, the incinerates. Yeah, it's too long of a move. You can see that coming from a mile away. Again, I have no idea. I mentioned this on this other video. Like, I have no idea what the move counts are for this Pokemon. But I've got a clock in my head. And that clock says that thing's loaded. 2 incinerates is not going to register before they take me out here. So again, you don't need to know all the move counts, but you need to have a clock in your head being like, this is not going to work. But you kind of had to. I get it, because you needed to come out with like a move and a half there because they could easily get to a move. So Frostlass again on the lead and again get hit with the water. Not surprising. They have a Frostlass. They probably have an answer to Dark is banned. So they probably have an answer maybe to Ghost and Fire, and met with a Seadra. And that Seadra is doing Dragon Breath, letting the charge moves go. It's an Aurora Beam. You are getting swept by a Seadra. Not something that I thought I would say in GBL. That thing just puts you so low. And they got a second dragon in the back. Not that Seadra's a dragon, but it's got a dragon type move. Okay. We are in a matchup against Altaria and just going to try to chip it. Gonna stay in here because Incinerate is resisted on the Altaria. So you kind of don't have an option. You just need to stay in here and chip. They decide to let that go, and I 100% would shield here, and you do. Easy take switch, come out with some energy, see what they come in with. If it's something that beats you, instant swap to the... and they did come in with a normal, and that could be a little risky if it was a Dunsparce, but we did swap into the Turtonator. Getting off a Flamethrower, they let it go. What is in the back that they are just going to go 2 shows in the back? Kind of risky. Body Slam, not enough to take out here. Even this Body Slam's not enough to take out. So they are putting it... Oh, but it's a payback. So that is enough to take out. And they instant swap. And that is why they are going 2 shield in the back. It is a Primeape. Saving those shields to hopefully just try and ramp up on the Primeape here. Unfortunately, they are going to get hit with a Incinerate that is actually doing more because we threw a Brick Break. So we can take the first Rage Fist. We know that. And now it's just Incinerate down mode. So I would shield up this one for sure. And you do. But that Incinerate is going to register close combat, hoping that we let it go. But that's not happening. Just going to go for the Incinerate down because they've got a shield for the win. So yeah, 2 things I would say. Well, 3 things. Congrats on hitting Legend. 1. 2. Don't make it so obvious that you have 2 fires in the back. Or maybe they'll think you have... No, because if you're coming in... I was going to say, maybe they'll think you have 3 dragons. But if you have 3 dragons, you're not going to get out of the lead. So the fact that you got out of a Hackmo, a fighter dragon, to get into a fire Pokemon should immediately ring off bells that you have 2 fire in the back. So don't make it so obvious. And then the third thing is, again, I don't count on everything, but you got to have a clock in your head that's going off like... and here's a tip that I will give people for GBL if you don't count. That helps me a lot. You should have a ballpark idea of how many turns it takes to get to moves. And if you don't, you should know for a lot of Pokemon, just ballpark figures. So you should know that for like the Drapions and the Feraligators and other Pokemon superior with Frenzy, you're looking at like 8 to 12 turns worth of moves. If you're seeing an Incinerate user, that's going to take like 3 to get to the first one. You should know that some Incinerate users, some Confusion users are probably in that like 12 to 16 turn range. And then for the big nukes, not nukes, but even like hard hitting moves with like a hard hitting fast move. So I'm just thinking like your Poison Jab and Sludge Wave on Toxapex, you're looking at like 16 to 18 to 20. So you don't need to know the exact amount of moves, but you just got to have a ballpark figure of like, okay, they got a 1, 2, or 3 turn fast move. They're at about 12. I expect a move to come either now or in the next move. Like, you just need to have that in your mind. Like, oh yeah, they got a move loaded because I don't need to know how much exactly they have, but I have an idea of what they have, like move, like turn wise and count wise, stuff like that. So even without knowing. So that is my suggestions. Do what you want with it. Thanks for the submission. Thanks for the support. I will keep. Actually, I don't even know if I have any other submissions. Let me see. We have one submission from a non-member in Retro Cup. So yeah, I'll film that one because we have no other submitted Retro Cup teams from members. So I will cover that non-member Retro Cup team probably this afternoon. I have not played. I got to 31-52. I played like a couple sets with that other team that you saw Friday morning. So that team was Friday morning, and I haven't played since. So it's been like 2 days, and I haven't touched GBL since. I probably will play again. Maybe like a little push. Someone said that Ninetales was working, so maybe I'll try Ninetales. So maybe I'll push leaderboard last week, but I'm not in like I need to play right now. Although I do need to play because I need to get the wins for the last track of the Go Battle Pass. So maybe we'll start playing today. Okay, anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.